Ann Sawyers? I don't think I saw Ann here this morning. Is Ann Sawyers here? Okay. David Holland.
Board members and citizens of the district. I'm an orthopedic surgeon. I came to East County in 1974 at the bequest of a friend of all of ours, Don Odekirk. He was my mentor. He provided me space for my first office in Santee. In 1974, I was the first home-based specialist in Santee, and as you know, the world ended at Mission Gorge Road in Santee at that time. Don was a wonderful mentor. He introduced me around the hospital, and I got very involved in Grosse Pointe Hospital. It was my home-based hospital for many, many years. I worked there following my residency, which in orthopedic surgery also included a fellowship in hand and upper extremity surgery. I was very involved with the hospital, serving on many committees. I was the chairman of the orthopedic department for a couple of years. And I helped design the orthopedic portion of the emergency room when it was reconstructed. I've been involved in the community. I have walked many football field sidelines, sometimes covering 2 or 3 teams in during the football season. I've also been involved with crippled children. When Del Ward heard that I had extensive training in children's orthopedics, he turned his East County Children's Clinic over to me, and George Mahan and I ran their clinic for 15 years out of a small auditorium over on Madison Avenue. I enjoyed the children's aspect of it. I enjoyed the communication with the patients. I was disabled with some nerve damage in my right arm, so I had to seek, in 1991, I sought out a slightly different career in forensic orthopedics. And after my 20-some years of background in surgical orthopedics, it was very interesting. In 1997, Mayo Clinic, Rochester, recruited me to become a member of their orthopedic surgery department and head up their impairment evaluation center. And I was there for 3 years, and then decided to come back home to San Diego. I don't know if you've all experienced the winter in Minnesota, but it seems like one winter is the equivalent of 25 winters in San Diego. I'm very interested in healthcare.
30 seconds.
And I still continue to work as a medical consultant in orthopedic surgery for the Social Security Department. So that's my story, and I've enjoyed being a member of this community. I understand the culture, I understand the nature of the problems, and I think that I could help resolve some of it.
Any questions of the doctor?
Thank you.
Thank you, doctor.
Bella Montgomery?
Good morning, everybody. Short. My name's Bella Montgomery, and I'm a nurse practitioner. And I've worked in the field, continue to work in the field, primarily with the indigent population and also with the underserved. And the thing that brings me here today is that I really feel that we have to look outside the box. We have to start looking in a different manner at healthcare. You know, we've now had, with the healthcare reform bill, as one of the candidates had mentioned, there's going to be a huge difference, a huge paradigm shift in healthcare delivery. We're going to have tons of people, not enough servers. We're going to not be able to serve the needs as we mentioned as an unmet need. And I think that we all have to look from the bottom up at this point, not the top down. We have to start looking to see that we're giving quality health care, but that we're starting to deliver health care in a very, very different manner. You know, everything is going to change in terms of how we view health care, I think, in the next couple of years. And that's the primary reason that I decided that this was the time for me to become involved. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ronald Hauser. I know Mr. Hauser may have mentioned to someone that he was withdrawing, but we didn't have anything official from him.
When I was making my calls, he did indicate to me that he did say I'd already talked to the office and he was going to withdraw. So perhaps he didn't follow up, or that was his comment to me.
Yeah, I did. I talked to him, and he indicated to me that he said you have a lot of good applicants, but he didn't say anything past that, so I didn't take that as an official withdrawal. Okay, moving on then. Daniel McMillan.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dan McMillan. As a candidate for the open board position, I want you to know that I believe in the health care for all our citizens and appreciate the excellent work that the Grossmont Health District has accomplished in this needed area. The hundreds of grants that the board has awarded over the years have helped improve East County's healthcare delivery system. I did run for the board in 2004 and understand the size and complexity of the district. And I want to assure each board member that I have the time, desire, and ability to properly carry out the duties required of the board members. I realize that each of you have many duties besides the regular meetings, as I have monitored them through both newspapers and your agenda online, which I appreciate very much. My knowledge of healthcare needs and requirements in the community has been enhanced by listening and watching as my wife attended nursing school at Grossmont College and then as a practicing RN. And my daughter is a reconstructive plastic surgeon working in San Diego. And I followed her through her many years of toil to get to that point. As a member of the board, I could assist with financial and construction oversight decisions. At Padre Dam and the County Water Authority boards, I considered and voted on numerous construction and finance projects with values from $100,000 to $340 million. I participated in the oversight of these projects and in the settlement of some of the construction defect problems that seem to happen on large projects. As a businessman, real estate developer, and contractor, I have participated in many ventures and taken 3 public to the Department of Corporations and SEC, and toiled with the many legal requirements and disclosures. I say this because you have just gone through a bond issue, and as a board member, I have gone through other bond issuance and understand and appreciate the due diligence and oversight required by the board. If selected, I would work to be a valuable addition to the board and support you in the many endeavors to ensure East County residents have a modern and accessible healthcare system for all. Questions?
How long are you on the Padre board?
To just this month, we have no more meetings.
Thank you.
Randolph Lynette.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Randolph Lennick. My friends call me Randy, though. I'm grateful for this opportunity and frankly, after listening to everybody, quite proud to even be considered in this august group. There's a lot of really well-qualified people here. So I'd just like to address a few things that sort of make me different from the rest of the pack, I think. I spent 27 years serving my country in the United States Marine Corps. Did all those exotic things in strange places. But probably the most unique, I think, was that I was a strategic planner for both Desert Storm, and in 1996 I was the chief of Middle East War Plans for the United States Marine Corps when we planned most of the operations that have been conducted in the Middle East today. So I bring to the table a wealth of experience and training in strategic planning. I understand complex issues. I've dealt with difficult tasks, and more importantly, I think I've had to work with a broad and diverse group of people in order to bring together solutions to difficult problems. Since my retirement, I've tried to serve my community. I live out in Campo, California. I was the executive director of Southern Indian Health Clinic, so I've come to understand the unique and sometimes troubling aspects of Indian healthcare, but also the unique opportunities that it presents. From this, I've learned that there's many areas in East San Diego County that are both underserved and underrepresented, and I've tried to do my part in that regard. I currently serve on the Mountain Health and Community Services Board of Directors, so I understand healthcare in the rural areas of San Diego County. We have many serious health issues, but I think they need to be addressed on a global level. Being part of this board would help me, I think, take my service to my community to another level. Finally, since settling in San Diego County and leaving the Marine Corps and that cloistered community, I've learned that politics is about making choices. And you can be part of the solution, or you can be a complainer. And I've chosen to be part of that solution. My ranch in Campo keeps me from getting too involved, but that's probably good. I realized quickly upon my arrival in Campo that the cream does not always rise to the top in many of our small town planning groups and school boards. So I and a couple of friends formed a rural political action committee, and we made it our duty to recruit and support and campaign for quality candidates for these important positions in the rural areas. Again, I think the success we've had speaks for itself. I believe that as a rancher, I've also taken it upon myself to be a property rights advocate.
30 seconds.
Thank you. And I've worked hard to make the new county general plan both fair and balanced for all the citizens of San Diego County. Again, I think the success we've had so far speaks for itself. I believe that we have given the county board of supervisors the ammunition and the courage to do the right thing with this county general plan that's coming up, and in a nonpartisan way. As such, I believe that I've earned a reputation as a straight shooter. I haven't got any hidden agendas, and my only goal is to serve my community. I understand that the hard decisions that this deliberative body has to make, and they're not always going to be popular with everyone.
Time ready.
Thank you.
Getting down to the last few here. Michael Stearns.
Shall we accept these?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, I had to ask if it was.
Michael Stearns, 10014 Boulder Creek Road, Descanso. I'd like to summarize 5 qualifications in my application that makes me an ideal candidate for the Healthcare District Board: experience, knowledge, expertise, training, and commitment. Experience: I have board of director experience for a hospital. As board treasurer for UCSD Medical Center, I have ideal exposure to the hospital finances issues that Mr. Hurst outlined, and healthcare challenges. I understand why healthcare funding changes required 1/3 of all hospital districts in California that change from operators to landlords. Knowledge: I have senior management experience and business skills to assist in fulfilling the accountabilities of the independent ICPOC and TEFRA and community outreach. You could say I was Beantowner who went bad, public accounting, finance, then marketing, public relations for large, community-based and member-owned financial institution gives me ideal skills to the full range of the board's accountabilities. A collegial teamwork approach to problem solving allowed me to assume these diverse duties and responsibilities. Expertise. I'm an expert in nonprofit board governance to help ensure that the Grossmont Hospital Corporation Board performs according to its public purpose. I supported the ED of Urban Core of San Diego for the last 20 years, keeping the board focused on our mission and built from startup one of the largest and successful not-for-profits in San Diego. Training. I have extensive training in the Brown Act and FPPC and ethics and responsibility of an elected representatives, chairing elected community planning groups, strengthen my collaborative decision-making skills, and provides me with connections to many of the community leaders in East County. Finally, commitment. Many say that tithing is returned tenfold. In my case, it's more like 1,000 times. As a board member for UCSD, I lobbied hard for the establishment of the Trauma Care Network.
30 seconds.
When my wife was in a terrible car accident, face broken off, the Trauma Care Network kicked in, routed her to UCSD head trauma specialist. They saved her life, her teeth, her eyesight, and her beauty. I still owe for this miracle. I now live in a community much like La Mesa 30 years ago, where access to health, 60 years ago, where access to healthcare remains a concern. I will commit to the residents in East County and to you that I will apply my experience, knowledge, expertise, and training in filling Grossmont Healthcare's district's quality and access mission. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, sir.
Tom Cantor. Mr. Cantor left a voicemail message with us, is unable to attend this morning with his regrets. I appreciate it. Mary Wiley.
Good morning. My name is Mary Wiley, and it's a pleasure to be here this morning. What would I bring to the board? Over 30 years of administrative and management experience. I retired just a short while ago as Dean of Continuing Education, Economic and Workforce Development from the local community college. While there, I wrote and received funding and managed more than 20 grants and contracts. I allocated and managed millions of dollars of federal funding for career and technical programs, including for healthcare. I have served on the boards of several local and statewide organizations, and also was an elected member of the La Mesa Spring Valley Board many years ago. So I know what it means to serve on a board and the responsibilities and the needs and ethics involved. And I hold a bachelor's and master's degree in education. I am a native San Diegan, and all of my adult life I have lived in East County, currently live in El Cajon. And now that I have retired, I was looking for a volunteer activity that was meaningful, that was a good match to my skills and ability, because I do have the time now to give back to the community that has served me so well. And I believe healthcare is the most important issue facing us in East County in these days. My family and I have benefited from the excellent health care available here. We are Sharp community members. My kids were born at Sharp Hospital. I had my hysterectomy out, you go on and on. So we care. We care about this district, and we're users of the system, and we believe in the district. I have read a lot about what the board has done. I have reviewed the website. I have looked at the grants and contracts, and I believe that I would be a good match on this board, and I would like to be part of the worthwhile effort that you are doing for this community. If you do select me, I want you to know that I will do my homework. I will commit the time to make sure that this job gets done as well. I'm a good listener. I know I would have a learning curve, but I know I would be an asset to the board and the community. I have no conflict of interest with any healthcare organization that might be looking to you for funding. I will bring my leadership and team building skills to the board, and if appointed, I will be an ethical, logical, hopefully articulate and knowledgeable board member, and I would stand for election. Thank you.
Peter Priobolis.
Good morning. I apologize, I just got back from New York, and New York gave me a gift called a cold. But I want to thank the board for the opportunity, and to comment that obviously you have a very difficult assignment facing you. It is interesting that we have so many qualified individuals who have willingly come forward today to seek this position. And for me, it speaks very loudly that they want to be part of an organization that has been and is successful. Somebody made a comment earlier that they were concerned that very few people run for the office. It can be a concern. It also can mean something else. It can mean that the community at large is pleased and satisfied with the activities of this body. I, for one, would love the opportunity to be part of a successful organization. I speak with a lot of knowledge about having served on one particular board in this county, San Diego City Retirement System, where we couldn't get anybody to want to serve. Thank God that has changed today. We have people that are willing to serve on that body. So you are very fortunate. My interest, obviously, is to serve the community. I have a high interest in that. This community has been very good to me and my family. It has provided us a great deal of positive effects, both in terms of our living. It has enabled us also to serve this community, both in the chamber. I just finished my eighth year on the Grossmont Hospital Foundation Board. My bigger concern and interest for wanting to apply for this position is that I honestly believe that the whole health community is in for a major, major challenge. With national health care, the things that were accommodating to us, the things that seemed positive for us, are significantly changing. You will be confronted with changes and challenges you've never perhaps experienced before. I believe my background in banking, trust, finance, can serve this body extremely well. I want to thank you for the opportunity. It's been a pleasure, and good luck to you.
Thank you, Peter.
Any questions?
It's two left. I think you know who you are, too. Bill and Altona.
Good morning, board members. Excuse me. And distinguished applicant. I'm very impressed with the quality of the applicants here. Very good. I'm a recent transplant. I moved from Point Loma to Mount Helix, and totally love the area. So I'm primarily from Michigan and Arizona, but I love the area, love the community. And I saw the ad in the paper, and I thought, you know, this will be fun, and that's what it's all about. I'm an engineer, so I don't know if I'm a fish out of water. I worked for Motorola Corporation for 30 years, and I worked in a variety of capacities. I was reached a level of senior member of technical staff, which is the top 2% of the engineers there. I also was I ran a lot of businesses there, developing products for cell phones that you guys use. Maybe you don't like that, but I did those chips. And I managed a team of engineers that we put a product that was voted the best product in the world. Got awards for that. So throughout that whole process of working at Motorola in all different capacities, marketing, quality, corporate labs, I've been on a lot of committees. I managed a lot of people. As an engineer, I like to dig in with passion, get the facts, and work with a team to make things happen. And I think I can, does the board need that type of individual, that type of background? That's for you to decide. But I think I could bring a lot of value to the board. I want to do it. I have the health, I have the time. And I would be honored if I could be on the board. So thank you for your time. By the way, when I was at Motorola, we had 3 minutes. Every slide was 3 minutes. So I only had one slide. So that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm guessing this one is Henry McGullough. And it is.
Good morning. I'm thrilled, delighted, and honestly, sincerely privileged to be here. I hope you had a chance to review my letter and my CV. I'm sorry my CV was so long, but you never know what somebody finds of interest, so I put it all in there and let you decide what's of interest and not, so sorry about that. I don't want to go over the materials I shared with you because you have that, so I want to go over some other things that I thought the board may be of interest and that may be of benefit to the people of East County. And sorry for speaking quickly because I want to avoid his prompts. What brought me to San Diego 10 years ago is I was recruited in Texas where I was working in medical education in charge of rural healthcare, U.S.-Mexico border healthcare out of the context of a medical school. I was recruited to work at the UCSD at Chula Vista Scripps Family Practice Residency Program. They were starting a brand new family practice residency program to address the primary healthcare workforce needs of medically underserved communities along the U.S.-Mexico border. So that's what brought me to California. My CV and letter cover much of my over 20 years of healthcare experience working both domestically and internationally, beginning with my master's degree in medical anthropology, where I spent a year working with the Ministry of Health in Bolivia addressing indigenous and rural healthcare. I spent a year living with an indigenous tribe, 2 days travel from the nearest light bulb, and I spent a year with them. In addition to my healthcare background, I have a significant amount of executive experience as well as being extensively and intimately involved in my local East County community. These experiences include serving as the executive director of the Cuyamaca College Foundation, where each year I was the director of the foundation for 5 years. We broke a fundraising record, which is an accomplishment in these economic times. Every year I was there, we've always had flawless audits. I've served as a charter member for the board of directors to help create the Rancho San Diego Humboldt Chamber of Commerce. I was invited and recruited to serve on the board, governing board when Steele Canyon High School went charter, because my daughter was going to school there, so I served on their charter board of trustees. I currently serve as the vice chair for community colleges and for business and education for the East County Chamber of Commerce. So pursuing this opportunity is consistent with my long history of being not only interested but actively involved in my community. Last week we submitted a grant for $1.5 million to the Workforce Partnership, which is a subcontract for the Department of Health and Human Services to get low-income folks throughout the whole county through to navigate through higher education, specifically to get a job in the healthcare professions. This week we'll submit a grant for $1.2 million to help get at-risk high school kids to finish high school and get into college. The Grossmont Healthcare District is large and covers an area that stretches from urban to rural to U.S.-Mexico border areas, each posing its own unique challenges. I have an extensive background working in each of these. I served as a director of rural health in the Department of Family Medicine and the College of Medicine in Texas. Texas had 254 counties, 25 counties had no doctors at all, and my job was to work to try to address the maldistribution of primary health care clinicians in medically underserved communities. Darn it, didn't make it. I served on the board of directors for the Texas Rural Health Association. I serve on the board of advisors for the Area Health Education Center for San Diego, Imperial counties, and the Mexico border area, which is, again, try to get more people into primary healthcare professions to work in medically underserved areas. I'm working with the U.S.-Mexico Binational Border Health Commission and California Office of Border Health. And I have an extensive background in cross-cultural medicine, which is important because one of the greatest social challenges facing East San Diego County right now is the rapidly growing population of refugees and asylum seekers. We're getting about 400 people a month, and we're going to keep doing that for about 2 or 3 more years. Is that time, you said?
Yes.
Oh, time. Shoot. And I'm sorry for speaking fast, but it wasn't fast enough.
I don't think we missed anybody. Did we miss anybody?
Wait,
All right.
you have questions for me?
Any questions?
Oh, no, they don't.
Thank you.
Okay, we will, as per the voting procedure you adopted, we will move to nominations. Each of you may nominate up to 2. That's 2 max. If you choose, there is no second required. And I will, I'll write the maximum of 8 names up here, and then we'll go to the paper ballot. And it's whatever order you please. You can just go down the line.
You don't have to have a motion on this?
Yeah, you need, each of you would nominate up to 2 candidates. That would go onto the paper ballot.
Okay, as president, I'll go first. I choose to nominate Ann Sawyers. And I choose to nominate only one.
I guess excuse me, that makes me second. I choose to nominate William Ayers. And my second nomination would be James Milek.
I have 2. Randolph Lennox and Dan McMillan.
What was the second one? I'm sorry.
Randolph Lennox and Dan McMillan.
Okay.
This is very hard for me. I think it's a strategy here to fix our board, and I have 3 nominees, but I'm gonna,
You can nominate 2.
I'm gonna nominate, I think I'll shorten the list. I'm gonna elect, everybody's qualified, it's extremely hard, but I think I'm gonna try no nomination right now and wait for the second round.
Okay, so the nominees are Ann Sawyers, William Ayers, James Millet, Randolph Lennox, or Randy, as he said, and Dan McMillan.
Well, let me ask, if we get a 2-2 somewhere, if somebody gets 2, do we nominate again to see if that person is still in the pot, or do we just vote?
The way you adopted, you would proceed with these. You each get up to 2. So some of you nominated 1, I believe. One of you nominated 0. So these go in the pool. I'll hand out ballots. As many ballots as you wish to see if one of these folks gets to 3. If you don't get to 3 on any one of the folks listed, you can then opt to each nominate an additional candidate that would be added to this list. Added to the list, not replace the list. Added to the list, that's what the rules say. And then you would continue with the ballots at that point.
So the same remaining folks will stay there.
It doesn't.
We
yeah,
can add more?
It very specifically says, if you turn to it, if for any reason no applicant is able to achieve 3 votes, the board at its discretion may opt to suspend the balloting and then allow each member to nominate 1 additional applicant not previously nominated. This expanded list of nominated applicants will then be considered by the paper ballot process. Okay, you ready to proceed? I have, the ballots are numbered like this, they each have your name on them, so ballot number 1. I'll hand you that. They're stacked in order as I hand them to you, so you can just grab the one off the top. But do make sure it's yours. Write down the name, then hand it back to me, and I will read them. You just hand it back down. And these won't necessarily be in the same order they got passed out, but we'll read them. Director Emerson votes for William Ayers. Director Chadwick votes for Randy Lennox. Director McElravy votes for Ann Sawyers. And Director Long votes for William Ayers. So again, we have 2 for, on the first ballot, we have 2 for Ayers, 1 for Lennox, and 1 for Sawyers.
So my strategy has become apparent. Voting again.
Yes. You don't have to fold them if you don't want. I'm going to read them immediately. Okay, ballot 2. Director Chadwick votes for William Ayers. Director Long votes for William Ayers. Director Emerson votes for William Ayers. And Director McElravy votes for Ann Sawyers. That would be 3 Ayers and 1 Sawyers. If you can take make a motion to appoint William Ayers, and that would require a second, and that would use the electronic voting system to memorialize in the form of the resolution that is listed under E1D. Resolution 1110, the name is left blank, and we would insert Mr. Ayers' name into one.
So moved.
Second, there's a motion and a second to appoint William Ayers to the board. You can still have discussion. You are allowed discussion if you like.
Discussion?
I'll just say, I believe that having served on Appt and with the negotiating skills, as much as there's so many wonderful candidates, I believe, I'm comfortable that this is the right choice to help us gallop on into the future in an area that we need right now. I believe that medically we're covered with a physician, a nurse, and a pharmacist who have all worked inside the hospital and were very much knowledgeable in the workings of a hospital. But there are some other areas that we certainly don't have our banking skills, and yes, there's some negotiating with other things, but I believe this is going to be a very good fit. And personally, I want to thank all of you. I enjoyed talking to all of you. And I know that you have some very strong qualities that you may wish to run in another election. And hopefully, if not, that means we're doing a good job. So, thank you.
If I may, I would like to note that if you do approve Mr. Ayers, that means we will have a vacancy on the ICBOC. And you may have some of these folks that would be very interested in serving in that capacity.
That would have been my comment, yeah, with that vacancy and possibly some runner-ups for the ICBOC. There's plenty of room for service. And I want to thank everybody for their application. was very educational for me to see such power players in our community. And I'll look forward to hearing from you in the future and possibly stay in contact. I have your telephone numbers. Each of you have an expertise that I could use for solving problems in the future. Thank you.
You need a vote? Yes.
We need to.
Please vote.
That motion carries, let me show it to you. That motion carries 3-1 with Director McElravy in opposition. And then you would move on to the oath of office.
Mr. Ayers, come down, please. I'm not just the timer. So please step over here, please. And I won't give my spiel on the oath of office, but needless to say.
You should, he has a great, you really need to hear this because it goes in history.
I didn't bring my notes. It's
3 minutes, by the way.
It's a very important and sacred, the oath of office to our country. It goes all the way back to the Constitution. All the judges are sworn allegiance to the United States. And also every president of the United States takes this oath of office. So it's a very important and sacred oath. It became particularly important after the Civil War. And Abraham Lincoln in 1862 required that all civil federal servants take the oath of office. And Congress also passed legislation in 1863 requiring that. So it has a long and a very important tradition in our country, particularly after the Civil War. Today, all men and women in the armed services take the oath of office, and it's my pleasure to administer the oath of office to our newly appointed director, Bill Ayers. So, Mr. Ayers, if you will raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear.
I do solemnly swear.
That I will support and defend.
I will support and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of California.
And the Constitution of the State of California.
Against all evils.
Against all evils.
Foreign and domestic.
Foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance.
To the Constitution of the United States.
To the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of California.
And the Constitution of the State of California.
That I take this obligation freely.
That I take this obligation freely.
Without any mental reservation.
Without any mental reservations.
Or purpose of evasion.
Or purpose of evasion.
And that I will well and faithfully.
And that I will well and faithfully.
Discharge the duties.
Discharge the duties.
Upon which I'm about to enter.
Upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you all very much, honored, and I'll do my utmost to fulfill that vacant seat in the manner in which it has been charged.
It would be appropriate for you to sit down while we adjourn the meeting.
Yeah. We can make the motion to adjourn.
Our next regularly scheduled meeting is Monday, January 3rd, and I need a motion to adjourn this meeting, please.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Please vote.
We will now, I will now update the electronic voting system. So but we can count what you're seeing up there as Mr. Stieringer being replaced by Mr. Ayers. That motion passes 5-0.
Thank you all for coming.